Welcome, my beautiful brothers and sisters, to the Aquarian Adepts, my platform to become your spiritual server. And welcome Libra Sun, Libra Moon, and Libra Rising, or anybody who just wants to chill and hang out with the Libra tribe and develop that energy, to part 1 of your July 2018 report. Thank you so much for joining me in this video. And let's just dive into the cards and a bit of the astrology to see what's going to be happening for you this month. This is honestly the second take. The first take, I paused at the end, and there was an awkward 30-second pause where I was trying to think something out because I literally just forgot something, and I was a little embarrassed about it. But it's kind of interesting, and this is how beautiful this thing works. I cut the deck and we get the Four of Swords. And the funny thing is that on the last reading that I deleted and I restarted it, I drew the Four of Swords. So obviously that same message applies, where this is going to be a month where you really do have to go within, despite any external drama, external voices, to really go within and find your silent place. And find that sanctuary, to create a sanctuary within your mind where you can really go to this space and drown out all of the static. And when you come into the space, you'll establish a deeper connection to Source, to your soul, to the universe. And then you'll really begin to know where to go. Okay? I'm actually going to search through the deck, just because I got the Four of Swords to start off. I'm literally going to go through and search the deck for the cards that they're right here. So I mean, they didn't go too far. I don't even know how that happened. I literally cut the deck and all the cards were literally right there. I don't know if that was just intentional, but I think it's just very, very interesting. But like I said, the Four of Swords, this is going to be a month where you really want to focus on creating harmony within your mind, creating peace within your mind, because that's really what's going to allow you to make a decision and to really move forward. Let's look at what's happening astrologically this month, just to quickly run down. We're entering eclipse season. We have the new moon solar eclipse in Cancer, which is going to be opposing Pluto, which is already pretty massive. And this is at 20 degrees, so it's at a pretty significant degree. We also have, of course, the lunar eclipse at the end of the month. This is going to be in Aquarius, conjuncting the nodes, or conjuncting the south node and Mars, and then of course opposing the north node. Another super powerful transit. We have Chiron, which just went retrograde, Jupiter, which will come direct, and then at the end of the month we have Mercury, which will go retrograde. So a lot of planets are retrograde, a few planets going forward, and a very intense, powerful eclipse season that's really going to make aspects to Pluto, which has been wrecking Capricorn, and then another one which is going to be aspecting the nodes. So this is going to be what I've been calling this month, and I will make a eclipse video on this eventually, when I do my weekly and the lunar reports. This is like a spiritual adjustment bureau. This is like you going to a spiritual chiropractor and them shifting around like your kundalini so it flows better. That's really what this month is. So it flows better, and so you can attract into your life the experiences that you wish to have. Now, we have the moon card here, right? But we also have the Two of Swords, which in many ways kind of reminds me of you, because it speaks to indecisiveness and going back and forth between what way to go. But we also have the Two of Wands, which is, once again, you are walking along a path, there's a fork in the road, you can either go this way or you can go that way. I think you have been stuck at this fork in the road for such a long time, Libra, where you've been wondering, should you go this way? Should you go that way? Should you be with this person? Should you be with that person? Or should you be alone? Should you go to that place you've always wanted to go to and travel? Or should you be a little bit more realistic and go here? Or should you find the middle path? Should you really believe that you can have the career that you want? Or should you stay in this job that, pays the bills and stuff like that and is secure? Or will you choose the middle path? And I keep coming back to the middle path because I think it's really important to acknowledge that middle path. In this case, that middle path is going to be the moon. So this whole month for you Libra, is about the middle path. It's about, I don't think you're necessarily going to make a decision this month, but I think you're going to, well, I don't think you're necessarily going to take the action this month, but I think you are going to make the decision by the end of the month on what direction to go. Because I think both directions are actually going to bring you joy and happiness, but you've been so worried about the outcome of taking that step. I think it's because you know that whatever direction you go on, and after that first step, there is no turning back. Because, like I said, this is a spiritual adjustment bureau, July. This is going to the spiritual chiropractor. And after doing this, and after the universe adjusts our life and rearranges it so we can really move forward and not be stuck, there is no going back. So I think you understand the magnitude of this, Libra. Let's look at where these things are happening for you. The new moon, the new moon solar eclipse is happening in your 10th house. So this has to do with, career, and this has to do with like career, legacy, what you're going to leave behind, the way that you kind of order yourself, your sense of structure in many ways. So this is going through a major upheaval period, because with this being in Cancer and it's opposing Pluto, it means that you definitely could be making a career change this month, or maybe you'll be presented an opportunity to make a career change, or you'll be presented an opportunity to really, you'll find something that's really going to spark off this creativity within you, and you're going to be really considering and thinking and feeling more about your legacy. Like, this month is going to be a month where you're really going to start to feel about, what am I leaving behind? What am I doing here? What is my purpose? You're really going to start to be thinking about that, all right? So it's going to be a very powerful eclipse period, and I feel like it's going to be a month where it's probably going to be the last month of you kind of being indecisive, going back and forth between which way to go. Both paths can bring about great joy. Both paths also have their challenges. I think we have to remember that. But the moon card here is saying to trust your intuition, to come into that silent place. Have you ever been outside when the crickets weren't chirping and it was just eerily silent? There's a great amount of peace that comes within that moment. When you go outside, the crickets are chirping, the sky is clear, and maybe you're away from like a road or a busy road, so you don't really hear too many cars. Maybe the only thing that you can really hear is the soft hum of the wind rustling the leaves in the trees. And there's like a beautiful, beautiful silence to that. And if you can tap into that vibration on a daily basis by, clearing away your mind and really creating that peace and harmony within your mind, you'll really know what direction that you need to take, Libra. Let's see what else we have here. All right. Oh, okay. Golly! Again! If you've watched multiple videos, if you've been watching all the videos because you're hip and you know that we're all the signs, then you would know that I've drawn the Eight of Pentacles for like 3 other signs already. So obviously this is going to be one of those months where it's like, keep moving forward, stay focused, and smile often. Wow, these are the cards that I got for the people too. Alright, so we have the Eight of Pentacles, we have the Four of Pentacles, and the Knight of Swords. So this is what I see this as. You have been holding on, man. You have been holding on to the indecisiveness. Almost like holding on to, like, if I don't have to make a decision, maybe the opportunity to, maybe just the opportunity, not necessarily taking the chance, but by holding on to the indecision on having, or holding on to not making a decision, maybe I will forever be at this fork in the road, and I don't have to go one way or another. And maybe just by staying here and holding on to this moment, I don't have to experience the challenges that come, or the worries and anxieties that come from what if I made the wrong decision. But if I stay here, it almost gives you like a strange sense of comfort. It's almost like you were walking along this path, and there's a path that goes left, and there's a path that goes right, and there's like a tree right there separating these two paths, and it's almost like oh, this is like a nice place. I could hang out here, and you've set up your tent and your hammock there, and you've been chilling in that spot. Almost like you're your own gatekeeper, like you're keeping yourself away from your own success. And you've been holding on to that. It's almost like it's giving you a sense of comfort. You've laid down roots there almost, because you just don't know. You don't. It's almost like it's a lack of trust in yourself. It's a lack of radical trust in the universe that regardless of what direction you take, you will experience honestly the entire scope of emotions, but both ways. And I'm just feeling this really. I feel like both ways will bring you great joy and love and fulfillment, and even help you to establish a career and legacy. And let's also look at that lunar eclipse, which is happening in Aquarius. So that for you is what, the 5th house. So this is really important because this is going to be really igniting your heart. What allows your heart to sing, to dance? What really ignites your passion? That's really what you want to follow. But as of right now, you've almost made it a point to just stay in the indecision, because it gives you a strange sense of comfort. And that's no way to live, Libra. It's no way to live. You have the Knight of Swords, and this is you. We also have the 8 of Pentacles. So the Knight of Swords is cool because it's like, while the Knight of Swords is a bit rash and very, very much so logical, and thinks things through, but simultaneously doesn't think things through, and will kind of just rush right into things. It kind of has the energy of the Knight of Wands, except whereas the Knight of Wands is driven more by passion, the Knight of Swords is driven more by logic and reasoning. So it's like you have created a reasoning for staying in this particular spot, or for staying stagnant. But now it's time for you to shift and take that reasoning, and if you really begin to clear out your mind, right, with the 4 of Swords, then with the Knight of Swords, you actually will be able to take that vision and really, with courage, move confidently on one or the two paths. And I think you know intuitively which one to take. And the funny thing is that you may be worried, like I said, you may be worried and have anxieties about, is this the right path? Should I have gone that way? I think what's going to happen is that someone close to you, or someone you know, is going to take a path or go along that other path that you went on. And you'll kind of almost vicariously experience it through them, and you'll see how they will change and morph over time. But at the same time, you're going to almost develop this appreciation and joy for that other person, but you're not, and simultaneously you're going to be like, wow, okay, so that's what could have happened, but look what's happening over here. So you almost kind of be like comparing stories and comparing your journeys, and you're not really going to be feeling jealous. I think that might be also what this is. Maybe this could be, well, if you're in a relationship, this could be signaling to whether or not you should be with this person or not be with this person. And maybe if potentially you guys do split up and y'all go your separate ways, and they achieve some level of success and fulfillment, you achieve some level of success and fulfillment, I feel like this is almost going to be almost like a friendly thing where maybe you might come back together, but it's like you won't really be jealous of them than you might be at first, and they won't really be jealous of you because you'll both be really filling up your own cup. That's if this has to do with a relationship, or it could be a friend, it could be a family member. But really, I feel like this is just you, and it's one or two paths that you can take. You need to take that vision and that clarity that will come from the 4 of Swords and going within, and just pick a path. And know that you are going to work hard at it. Know that you are going to create with it. This is the 8 of Pentacles, which usually shows someone in the suit. I like to think of this as in the lab. You're in the lab and you're working hard. You're in the flow state. That's what 8 of Pentacles is. It's flow state, creating you've been working on this craft for a while. So the craft that you've been working on is the indecisiveness and not making a decision. Now it's time to shift that perception and to shift that focus towards taking a particular path and going there, and then know that over time, as you take one step in front of the other and you continue to work on it, you will be developing your craft. You will be developing that flow state, and you'll just be manifesting and popping it out, and you'll be going. You'll be good. Let's see what else we have here. The Eight of Pentacles has come up a lot, so I'm just wondering, what that really means. Because the Eight of Pentacles has come up a lot. I actually want to know, I kind of want to know why it's been coming up a lot. So I'm actually going to look at the bottom card for that. Interesting, we actually have the Devil card. So if you happen to be cross-watching and you got the Eight of Pentacles, there's some connection with the Devil card. And the Devil is not necessarily bad, it just speaks to, I see this as, what are you really striving towards? Because the Eight of Pentacles, like, you can be in the lab and creating it in a flow state, but also pay attention to whatever it is that you're working on. Is it high vibrational? Or is it kind of like mid-tier? Or is it low vibrational? Because that which you continue to work out and that which you put out will come back to you. So what are you working on, Libra? Are you reinforcing with your actions, thoughts, behaviors? Are you reinforcing a high vibrational way of living? Are you reinforcing a low vibrational way of living? I think that's really what this is talking about. And it's not so much that, the devil also talks about temptations. So it can be tempting to want to even work and develop something that may be low vibrational. It may be tempting to do that because and many times it requires less effort. And many times, but then over time, it's like it requires a lot of effort to uphold this. Think about the effort it takes to uphold a company that has very bad, malpractices, and you've gone so far, and you're destroying the environment, and you're robbing people out of their experience because you're hoarding everything. It's like almost just like the craft itself, and that which you have created has you by the fucking nads. It has you by the balls, the ovaries, and it's almost like you have to keep going and churning out, and like this machine that you're creating, the machine of your life, it's like you have to just keep putting more and more energy and blood into it just to keep it fucking running. But is it actually working? Is it actually fucking working? So yeah, sometimes we feel like it's easier to do the thing that won't necessarily make our life better. But over time, and if you compound it with years and years and years, it actually does take a toll on you. And then it does require quite a bit of effort to do so. The only reason why it doesn't appear so is because you're just in a rather unconscious state. Not unconscious state, but you're acting from your subconscious. And it's just going and going and going. But this is also asking, it's like, you could have a deeper life. You could have deeper wants and desires. You can actually really move us forward. So let's see what else we have here. And that was mainly about the Eight of Pentacles, because it's like I've drawn it for like 3 other signs too. So that's why I was like really interested to know what in the world is going on there. But let's see what's kind of going to be like a bit of a resolution for you, Libra. Let's see what's going on. Okay. Well then, look at this. We have the Three of Pentacles. We have the Ten of Cups and the Six of Wands. Okay. I kind of see what's going on here. Three of Pentacles usually speaks to, like, someone who is beginning to come more into their own. It's like the Three of Pentacles is the new novelist who just published their first book or maybe their first couple of books, and they're starting to get recognition. Whereas the Eight of Pentacles is like Stephen King. Just, like you're in the flow state, you're like mastering your craft, you've already mastered your craft, and you have like 20, 30 books out. Where the Three of Pentacles is kind of like a little bit newer than novice. I mean, a little bit, not newer, but a little bit more experienced than novice, but not quite. Like they're still kind of rising up. So with the Ten of Cups and the Six of Wands, I feel like this is you kind of almost sort of picking between the two. It's either you're going to pick with these eclipses, and the decision you're going to make is like, am I going to go the path of a emotional fulfillment, and this has to do with the relationship? Am I actually going to pursue this? Or with the Six of Wands, are you really going to be focused more on the career side of it? And I think it's like you're trying to figure out and wonder which one is more valuable, and you're also trying to figure out, which one is going to almost, I would say, guarantee you success. But you can't really, the only way that you can guarantee success is if you take one step at a time and you take a step every day. So I think the Ten of Cups here is like, maybe you were worried with this Ten of Cups that maybe, in the past things might have not worked out in the area of love and relationships. And then with the Six of Wands, you're wanting to be well received by other people. You're wondering if you'll make an impact. I think you're also wondering if these two energies of the Ten of Cups and the Six of Wands can be integrated. Because I think you actually want both. Maybe you want both paths. Maybe the path is that you're worried about, or this indecision, is pursuing a relationship or taking a relationship to the next level, or if you are in a relationship, rekindling that relationship, and whether or not it's conducive with your career and your path and how you want to be received by other people. You're trying to see if these things can be integrated, and if you can have both worlds. You can have both the worlds. It actually comes from taking the middle path. That's the interesting thing about the Two of Wands. It's like you have path A or path B, but there's also a middle path that people don't really think about. There's a middle path, and that's the path really that you want to take. You'll know how to take it and when to take it by really coming within and, like I said, silencing your mind, silencing all those chaotic thoughts and coming within. And you definitely will start to feel more confident about where you're moving and where you're heading. Let's draw a Sacred Traveler Oracle card. Okay, we have, wow, this card actually flipped up earlier when I was shuffling, and it popped up again because that's how it works. We have Rainbow Blessings. Aww. Blessings are showering your life. I think that really you kind of just need to get out of your own way. I think it's like, oh, should I go this way or should I go that way? Is this right for me or is this right for me? I think either way you're being blessed. I think either way you're going to find the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. I think either way, well, you are the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Fuck that. Like, you are the pot of gold. I think once you realize that you are the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, people will be coming to you. People will be attracted to you because people always want to find the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, right? But if you're the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, then you actually are attracting someone who actually put in the work and effort to freaking follow the rainbow to you. Because how many people actually try and find the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow? How many people actually go and do that? It's funny, I actually saw something on Reddit where someone actually found the end of a rainbow and they're like, I was lied to, there's no pot of gold here. I'm like, but you see, it's probably not here in this physical dimension. It's probably more of an emotional, spiritual plane of existence. It's there. It's definitely there. And if anything, with the rainbow, right, It probably goes underground as well. So it's probably more like an orb. So, yeah, you are the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, and you are being showered with blessings right now. It's just that you have been really worried about what way to go. And it's okay. It's because you want to balance things out. You want to feel peaceful. You want to feel harmonized. You want to make sure that things are working out in everyone's favor. But you kind of have to take care of you first. And once you step into the vibration that I am the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, which if it's an orb is technically no end, but if I am the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, then I will most certainly attract the fulfillment and step into the fulfillment and become it. Yes, you are a spiritual infinitaire, Libra. You are a spiritual infinitaire. Your color card is Scarlet, which is attract success. So isn't that amazing? This, see how perfect this is? Attract success. You are the pot of gold. You are the spiritual infinitaire. Get out of your own way. Trust your intuition. You can have both worlds. You can have both paths. It's by taking the middle path that you will attract that success and that fulfillment. That is it for your reading, Libra. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And if you would like a personal reading with me, you can follow the link in the description below too, theaquarianadepts.com. And always remember, my beautiful brothers and sisters, to keep moving forward, to stay focused, and Yahoo! Smile often.